Dog culture review. Let's look at some of the narcissism that's in dog culture. So notice I've got the closed captions up, and what does this guy say? They are not life threatening. Well, what is he talking about? He's talking about a little kid that was laying lifeless from a pit bull attack. Look over here where I have the transcript open. Suffering from some very serious bites and injuries, but they are not life threatening. I notice they do this very often when a pit bull almost kills a little kid, and the little kid is in the hospital, intubated, getting their face sewn back together. They say, well, it's not life threatening. They kind of have this attitude of, well, you didn't die, so it's like with these people, life is just an on or off thing. This is life threatening. This threatens the quality of life of this little kid. This little kid has to go back into society, a dog loving, worshiping society, after nearly being killed by these pit bulls. That's your quality of life. This attitude that they have, this, oh, well, their injuries aren't life threatening. They're going to give him a bunch of pills and a bunch of surgery and he'll still be alive. They don't consider the quality of life. They just look at life as a transaction, a on or off thing. Like, oh, well, the little kid didn't die, so whatever. But what about dogs? Do they do that with dogs? No. With dogs, they are constantly worried about the dog's quality of life. Did he get the right shots? Did he get the right training? Did he get the right type of equipment in the house? The right type of doggy bed? The right type of poop bags? And people that own dogs will watch these videos after these dogs nearly ended the life of people. And people will complain about these little posts that they use to grab the dogs. These officers have to use shovels and these long metal rods to safely capture these dogs. And people will even be concerned about those dogs. They will say stuff like, oh, you could have done that more humanely. They will go in the comments and complain about the way that these dogs were removed from the property. So they're so concerned about the dog's quality of life. Our society is so concerned about the quality of life of these dogs. But when these dogs nearly end somebody, they look at the human life as just like an on or off transaction. They don't consider the fact that the quality of life for these humans has to suffer just so these dogs can live a spoiled life where they can get away with murder. His body looked lifeless, they're saying about the little kid that was attacked by these dogs. So that's your quality of life. These people had to go through a nasty horror movie scene, but they didn't die. Oh, you didn't die, so whatever. Just move on with your life. They're going to go back into a neighborhood that is full of pit bulls, full of running around stray dogs, and then they're going to live a life of being stressed, of having to suppress their own emotions and become terrible people themselves and be sad and be addicted to pharmaceuticals, antidepressants, need constant revisits to the hospital. So it's not a simple matter of, well, they lived, so whatever. But I noticed that on all of these attacks, they always have that news officer guy say, well, they're not life threatening. Like, yes, it is. If it's your quality of life, that's part of your life. Life is not just an on or off thing. And speaking of quality of life, look at all the community resources that have to be used just to capture these dogs. We got all these officers. We have a helicopter. A helicopter filmed this whole thing. So what if those community resources could go into helping those little kids and young mothers and young fathers have a quality of life? What if instead of having to show up with thousands of dollars worth of trucks and animal capturing equipment, what if they showed up with like some magazines on how to repair your bike or how to go have fun at the park? What if they took those little kids and introduced them to all the county commissioners and the mayor and told them about what kind of jobs they can have in the community? What if we put our community resources into helping people with their quality of life? Think of how much better our society would be. Think if, like, for instance, one of these police officers showed up and just talked to those people about the dangers of pit bulls, because this officer is the one that has to encounter these pit bulls after they nearly kill people. What if we did stuff like that? because we're dumping thousands and thousands of dollars of community resources into these bites. For what? Everybody else has to pay for the taxes that go into dealing with these nasty mutts. So it's not a matter of, well, if you don't like dogs, then just shut your mouth and don't get one. Everybody is affected by the nastiness of these dogs. The people that were attacked by these dogs, they could be somebody's friend, somebody's coach, somebody's girlfriend, or mother or father, but they're not going to be able to offer as good of a person to the rest of society because they've had their mentality compromised by this nasty horror scene. So that's just another look at how dog culture is narcissism, and dog culture affects everybody. All of the ways that these people act and behave and live, it put them in this situation of, yeah, we'll come over and babysit your pit bulls. Those are the precious nanny puppers, like we were told. And I'm sure, however this happened, they were probably petting the dogs or feeding the dogs, or the little kid made a little squeaky sound and the dogs got triggered and they all just snapped. So, yeah, dog culture affects everybody, and dog culture is narcissism. If you want to know more about the reality of dog attacks, check out this channel, Pit Bull Victim Awareness. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.